Whoa.
You've officially made it to another Thursday. Congratulations.
Wow.
I know. So, my name is Amy. And
I'm Drew.
I don't care right this minute.
Okay, good.
I am actually going to take the lead on this show today. Usually it's a lot of Drew with a little bit of Amy. But today we're going a little bit different. We're going to learn a little bit about Drew today and kind of what he's all about, what his story is and everything. So, hi Drew.
Hi, Amy. How are you?
I am doing so well. How are you?
I am great. Thanks for you leading this thing. This is fun.
Yeah, this is different. Look at, he gets to do all the little technology stuff and make sure that
I don't know if I did it right, but I don't even think I did.
Well, you're on Inspired Development right now, so
okay,
that's
good.
That's a
That's good. Okay.
So just a little thing where this is Title Talk. So what we kind of do every single week is we either bring on some guests to kind of learn about them and learn about what they're doing in the business, or you get to. Last week we had a lot of positive comments back on.
It was amazing. It was really amazing.
I think we had more comments and people reaching out to us about last week than we have in a long time.
Yeah.
So we kind of just decided to do it again and see where life is right now.
Yeah, I think that's a really good lead into kind of what we're doing today. I think that the feedback we got was really great because we were real.
Yeah.
We talked about the business, we talked about ourselves, and I think we talked a little bit more in depth about who we are, the culture of who we are in the business. So I look forward to some more good topics and good things. So.
All right, I got some questions.
Oh my gosh, here
All
we
right,
go.
so the first one that's going to lead us off today. By the way, we're having some microphone things, so if you can't hear us,
yeah, let us know.
Send a little comment on there and we'll try to tweak it, or just talk obnoxiously loud like I'm trying to do right now. All right, so you grew up in the business. Most kids want to be teachers or firemen or doctors, maybe the president. It was National First Responders Day yesterday.
It was.
So I just want to throw out a little bit.
Congrats. Thank you guys so much for all you do.
So you were like, I want to be a title guy.
No.
No. So how did you get involved in the business? To be a president of a company, but not the United States.
Right. I grew up in. I definitely grew up in the business because seriously, back in the in my youth days, my dad was a title guy. And I was exposed to this. I was in the title world. I was always surrounded by it. I just really knew that it wasn't fun. I knew that it wasn't cool.
It's so
right? I mean, I was like, it's just not the coolest job in the world. And I really started to get into the business by, I used to cut the lawn outside the building, and then they invited me inside. They said, hey, come on inside.
They actually let you in?
They let me come inside.
They must have been struggling for help.
Yeah, it's kind of amusing. So I came inside and I saw from, I learned, I was a courier, messenger, kind of running things around. Then I went into doing the policy checking and exams, and then I evolved to...
You loved that?
I did not. Then I evolved to literally doing preliminary examining and everything. And it's kind of...
that was really cool?
Yeah, no. I mean, it's really crazy because I really watched this whole thing evolve from, what I was exposed to was these older gentlemen who were examiners who were kind of locked off in the back office, and they were kind of, grumpy and grousing about what they did every day. And, watching the dot matrix printers and the old fax machines. And,
I don't know what a dot matrix printer is.
Right? I mean, it was just... the technology from then to now, I've watched that evolve and everything. So, now you buy a house on your iPad. So
you do an entire tour of a house on an iPad. You do everything.
Really, really weird how it has evolved from what it was and got it to where it is now. And I said, this is such a very uncool industry. Mm-hmm. I want to get in it and try to see if I can make it fun and do something with it to really make it an enjoyable space, an enjoyable thing.
Well, I do love working in title, so somehow you have somewhat made it fun.
Well, I appreciate that, and I do now too.
Yeah.
It really evolved because, the technology has just come such a long way, and I think it's really aided in what we do and helped us in our jobs and how we're ultimately doing them. So, no, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool.
So you weren't always interested in pursuing title, it sounds like.
No.
So what was your life before title?
Well, so what,
These answers might shock you.
Yeah, they may, but they may not. You know, there's really two ways to get in title, and the one way is you're born into it, and that was in my case. The second way is kind of how you got into it. You were tricked into it. So you know,
people.
exactly. It's you know, it's an industry where people get they're involved because it's their family thing, or if that's a job that they take on out of high school or college where they're, you know, a messenger or runner and they learn the business, you're in it. It's kind of like the mafia. You know, once you're in it, you're locked into this thing.
I have to thank my husband now for getting me into this.
Yes.
So you all know that I'm a dance teacher. That's I went to school to be a history teacher. I think we've talked about that before.
Right,
So like
right.
the whole kind of past has kind of been intriguing to me. And I was kind of looking for another a part-time job while I was teaching. I was like, maybe I should look at Starbucks and maybe I should do this. And, you know, Joe, my husband, bowls with him. And you had just lost one of your workers. And you're like, crud, I really need somebody.
Yeah.
So Joe's like, Amy might like it. And that was 5 years ago. So, and then I just kind of like...
Yeah. It's true.
I just kind of got sucked in, and now I don't want to leave.
No, it is very true that, you know, you come into this thing and you're kind of in it, and the way you leave is in a pine box. So it's not something that people typically do. They may leave businesses, but they go from this business to another title business, another title entity. So
Speaking of other title entities and all that, do you have any intentions of leaving? Going out on your own and making your own way?
Well, so what I did is, like I said, going back and giving you kind of the history of this thing, is being the son of a title agent and having Dad really starting the company back in 1984. I really just was 1984. Yeah, I was, you know, 31 years ago,
alive.
36 years ago. Right.
I wasn't even a figment of an imagination.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really different time back then, and like I said, what I saw was a very different world, and especially being, you know, a teenager and growing up and having some. I mean, I always knew what I wanted to do, which was I wanted to be in the financial industry. I had a strong passion to be in the financial industry. So after I worked for the family business for a few years, I left it and wanted to step outside of what that looked like to make that something different. And that something different was studying to take my Series 6 and Series 7 so I can get into the financial world and do the stocks and bonds and deal with the whole financial place and piece. And it was really something that was exciting to me. I enjoyed it. Obviously then the market crashes. I all of a sudden then see that there's a need for me in the family business again, because the folks that were there when I initially started are now a little bit older, and they're starting to coming in some health issues. My dad doesn't have the bodies and personnel to really step into this.
Yeah.
So it really led to me coming back into this. And
were you thrilled? Or were you thinking it was going to be like a
I thought it was
comma
a
in your
temporary
life?
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really figured that my step back into this was going to be just I'm going to help out, because again, my passion was in the finance world and working with the realities of money and finance, and I really enjoyed what that is. So I wanted to explore my options, and I guess happily it circled me back to where I initially started. For some reason, for somehow, it brought me back to, you know, where we started.
So what's like a day in the life of Drew at work? Like, how do you decide what you want to do, what you have to do, and what, like, your ambitions with growth are?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of priorities come into place. I mean, when I look at what I want to do and what we want to do as a company and what my growth expectations are, it's different. I mean, it differs because really being part of this business, being in the title business, the things that have spawned from it are amazing.
You would have never been able to guess it in a million years.
I mean, if you ask me, which I don't know if these are part of your questions, but if you ask me, you know, the things that I've done because of the title business, they're incredible. I never would have connected those dots, but the title business has led me into several other opportunities, and those are things that I'm really excited about, and you know, we can talk about those later on if those are on your thing. But I mean, doing the financial part of what I did day in and day out. I mean, I worked for the White Sox for a handful of years, and I managed.
I would have never guessed with that.
Yeah, right? I managed the stadium club for a handful of years, and I love that because my passion around baseball.
And what else?
My passion around food.
And?
My passion around baseball.
Did you have any other businesses?
At that point?
Just in life?
I had always been involved in, money, lending money.
Yeah.
So, borrowing money and being a money guy. But initially, while I was doing the White Sox stuff, I was doing my studying for my Series 6 and Series 7. Through that process, I took on a job in the financial sector where I was going to court and defending. I was working as an arbitrator for broker dealers that we help people set up. So if people wanted to get into being a broker dealer in the financial market and they had any issues or problems, I would go into court defending them against some of the SEC laws and rules and regs that they were being accused of. So I was a very, very important piece of people's business lives and what they were doing. And I thoroughly enjoyed that because, again, it goes back to some of my past of getting into debate and really arguing, and my dad being an attorney, maybe that's a little bit what that was.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And I think that maybe that was part of where my influence came. So enjoying that and loving that and really feeling whole with that, because you can see what you're doing every day. You're helping people out of a really ugly circumstance.
Right.
Markets crash, the whole world comes crumbling down. I am second in line in this company, recognizing that, okay, this is going to be a real difficult situation for my partner to tell me that, hey, you know what, you're one of the higher paid guys on the team here, we're going to have to make some changes. I got it. I mean, it was a financial decision.
You get it, yeah.
I mean, I totally understood it. So that lent me to, like I said, coming back to the industry of the family business.
Job.
Right. I mean, thankfully, I had evolved from the grass cutting job, and thankfully, I was a little bit, more well versed in some things, and I'd grown up, become more mature, had a family, so things were aligning differently for me to take on this new responsibility.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a crazy segue of how the evolve from, starting the business, leaving it for a while, trying on some different hats, and then coming right back to it, and then going, I'm still not passionate about it, so what am I going to do? Yeah, but it was still the same business at the time I came back.
Right.
So then taking on that next step of, well, maybe I can, make this a little bit more like it's my own, and change the strategy of it, because at the onset when my dad had it, the business primarily dealt with new construction.
Right.
They represented a lot of different builders in the marketplace. So they were doing a lot of new construction. Well, when the market crashed, that new construction market also crashed.
Right.
So there was really less of a need for that.
Yeah.
So I then sought out some different clients that said, okay, well, we can't keep our eggs in this new construction basket. What am I going to do?
Go?
Well, that's when the short sales started, the foreclosures started, and I started to really concentrate on pursuing those folks and finding what aspect of the business I could work with them, and they would need the title industry to do it as well. So that kind of evolved to a lot of what we're doing today.
So Inspired Title, what year? Like when was that?
So Enterprise Title was the prior company that my dad owned.
Right.
Okay. I worked for Enterprise Title for a number of years, somewhere around 15.
Okay.
Okay. And as my dad is reaching the age of retirement, I saw
Don't let him hear that.
Yes, Dad, if you're listening, time to retire. Reality was, I said that I want to create something that's my own. I want to do something that's independent of his success being Enterprise, and it just made total sense because we had a client base started up, we had developed our own team here. A lot of different opportunities presented themselves to me to say, you know what, now is a great time for us to step outside of the boat and test the water. And I said, I'm gonna start my own title company, and being the inspirational, motivational guy, being somebody who is all about people and wanting to, I strive to help people in success. I said, all right, I'm gonna step outside and create this company called Inspired Title, doing the same things but differently.
In your own way, yeah.
Right? Doing it differently.
And that was in 2019.
Right.
And then the team got licensed in Indiana, or beginning
19
of.
also. Yeah.
Was it 19 or was that early 20?
No, because we have to renew next year, so 19
March
is when we
of-
did it. Yeah, so actually 18 is probably when the
Right.
the idea,
The idea
and the
started to
thoughts of
evolve,
this kind of
coming.
started to kind of take place. January of 19 is when we were licensed officially to go ahead and do
Mhm.
biz. And at that point in time, I think rolling up to this, I knew that one of the things I wanted to do is branch out. I
Mhm.
wanted to not just be Illinois, I wanted to go into Indiana. So that was different right out of the gate. I wanted to create something that is different right out of the gate.
Yeah.
And we did. And so we're also licensed in Indiana. We're able to do business there as well.
So right now we're living in a crazy, scary kind of world.
We are.
COVID is, I feel like it's ramping up round two. It's been one of those years.
Mhm.
You have to be proud of like what this company is and what's happening with it, right?
It has been a the COVID thing to say the least has been a whirlwind. Obviously, none of us expected it. I think none of us really saw it coming.
Like the reality of when people, and even when people said like
Right.
like buckle in, 2020 is
Right.
going to be a year.
Right, and I have to say, I think I am proud of how we've adapted, but I also am proud of how the industry adapted. I mean,
Yeah.
between the realtors and the lenders, I mean, this kind of happened overnight.
It
I
really
mean,
did.
We were told on a Friday that the world was ultimately going to be shutting down.
Like the entire, yeah.
And a lot of people panicked and people started to get this fear in their eyes, and a lot of industry people didn't know what was going to happen. And then we started to hear this buzzword, and this buzzword was essential. And I kind of didn't know what were they going to, where was that
What
going
are
to take
we?
us? What does
Yeah.
that mean? Then to find out that we were part of that essential group, that was awesome.
Yeah.
But yet, what did that mean?
Right.
We're essential.
But are
in
people
what
going to
way?
need us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In what way? So really a collaboration of industry professionals allowed us to take on and grow and do what we do today.
Right.
And I think that the future of what has become and what we're doing is really based on what happened. I mean, it's kind of a
100%.
blessing in disguise, right? It's kind of like this
That's
is
very, yeah.
yeah, this is taking a bad thing and potentially changing it into a very, very positive, because we've come to find that we can be efficient.
Mm-hmm.
We are able to accommodate the clients, the customers, our team,
Yeah.
based on able to work from home and e-closings and the no-touch things, because
Yeah.
people ultimately became afraid of pens and pencils and
Mhm.
paper. There's this fear.
Right.
So
Which
okay,
it's a
It's
okay,
real.
Yeah, it's a real fear.
it's legit.
Yeah.
I'm not discounting.
No, for sure.
It's a legit thing, and
And it's crazy just how the entire, client base surrounding title has changed too. Like, realtors are spending time with these like videos of houses when they're selling them, because some people don't want to open up their houses
Right.
for people to actually walk through. But
Right.
hey, let's do Jax is one of our realtors
Yeah.
who work with a lot.
Yeah.
She has like the most amazing like system and software to show her houses.
Yeah.
Like she does those 3D views and stuff. It's like the market is still finding a way to keep chugging along,
it's impressive.
even though
totally impressive.
the world was shutting down around us.
Yes.
So we're lucky to have these people in our wings that are doing this with us.
No, it prepared us for the virtual world.
Yeah.
I think that if you look back to where I said we started back in the 1980s, when I watched the dot matrix printer, which this thing is going and it's slow, and people relied on fax machines. It wasn't just that was the speed thing.
Right.
People would use the mail to deliver things. It wasn't done through email. I mean, now the virtual world has become a real strong presence in our business, in what we do every day. And then what we did is we took that and said, how can we mold this to accommodate our clients and the customer. And it took a whole bunch of people coming together to make that reality happen. And it was bam, like
Dude,
that.
it was a light
Overnight.
switch. Like it was.
Yes, I mean, it's shocking.
It was unbelievable.
But it's impressive.
Yeah.
It's impressive what we can do as people when we have no other choice but to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, it literally, we're left with no other option. It's like, well, we can go home and stay home, or we can figure out how to adapt
Some
to
of
what's
us were
crazy.
hoping. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Some of us would have worked from home a couple extra days.
There's going to be a huge lack of the brick and mortar need.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to need these brick and mortar. I mean, a lot of people, a lot of businesses are finding out right now that they don't need to go to work every day. They can cut back on the number of staff. They're able to accomplish the same amount of work in the same amount of time with less people, less overhead, less. Sometimes less is more. I talked about that last week.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're really starting to discover that.
Mm-hmm.
It's scary because it is unfortunate because it eliminates a lot of jobs and things.
Yeah.
But I think it does open up some doors of things that we don't even know yet, that we haven't even discovered.
I was even thinking, the old building that we were in was huge. It was, oh my God, it was beautiful.
6,000 square feet.
6,000 square feet. Like these closing rooms, because these closings used to be an event is what they call
Yes.
it, with like 12, 15 people, like lenders, every buyer, every seller, every attorney. And then slowly I noticed that our closings were like, oh, I have a POA and the buyer's here, but that's really it. So we downsized from 6,000 to
less than 2.
less than 2, and we're making it
Absolutely.
work. We're making it happen, and it's
Absolutely.
all about that adjustment. And hopefully one day there's a party closing one day.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you can comment on this as well. That we've seen the excitement of the parties, the buyers that are buying homes, are wow, that was so flawless and seamless and easy. It was so much easier. The hassle wasn't there.
Right.
Where do I got to go? What do I?
It's ease.
Again, simplify what's already very difficult.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. As a child prodigy
Oh boy.
in the title industry, going back 50 to 60, 20 to 30 years.
Age the heck out of it. Okay.
It's still about the American dream.
Mm-hmm.
Still buying and selling homes.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't changed.
Mm-hmm.
We were forced to adapt. We were kind of just talking about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there anything else you need to add? Is the title dude the president of the title company? What's next? What?
Well, like we said earlier, that this has spawned off a lot of different businesses for me, a lot of different business entities for me. This has given me the ability to really hone in on efficiency, taking the team that we have and working on growing them and making them efficient, so we can absolutely provide a better product, a better service to our customers and our clients. So
Do you think there will ever be the days of no papers, no wet signatures, because a lot of this is lender based.
Correct.
What lenders will allow, what lenders won't allow. Some are saying e-signing is okay, but not on this document. So do you think that there will ever come a time in this industry where Zoom closings are a thing, or?
Yeah, it's really hard to project what this looks like in a very near future, because this has been such a radical change.
For sure.
And I think that the majority of us are trying to kind of settle and go, this is cool, I like this needs a little tweaking. I think we're really adjusting and perfecting this change. But I do think that in order for us to continue to move and grow, I think that is one of the things that is going to have to be essentially
Have some
changed.
wiggle room, yeah.
And that's the lenders doing that is a big thing, because here again, with all the fraud that's out there, and I totally understand their positioning on this and why they have their stake in the ground to say such things as, no, we need it to be a wet signature.
But then you find these overnighting these things. It's
right.
$12, $15 every time you overnight something. So it's not like you could be overnighting everything every second of.
It's a very different cost. It's a very different exchange of give and take. So if you don't have the people going into the office and you don't have all that overhead, you can afford to FedEx and UPS stuff. So it's a movement of the economic vision of what a company looks like.
I'm excited to see what the future of this looks like.
I am too. I mean, that's what is exciting about this. And
Yeah,
what
it'll
has-
be something, but
Absolutely.
Lord knows what it will
What has
actually be.
made this exciting for me is knowing that where I started and where it's at today and what has spawned from it, like I said before. I have the development company.
I was gonna say, let's talk about
I mean,
development a little
we
bit.
have the development company. I have the a company called Winspire, which is the hard money lending company,
Mhm.
and then we've got the title company. We're doing some joint ventures in the city of Chicago with the political groups down there to try to help out some of the housing and better some of the situations there.
It's just so crazy. It's
I mean, this all started from just being that title guy and going, yeah, I'm not a really big fan of what this is. But through the evolution of time and clients and meeting, it's grown to, I mean, the development company in its own is something I'm very proud of.
you should be.
And it's something that has really shown some wonderful growth. We've done a lot of rehabs and remodels in the different community around us. We're developing and building new homes in Indiana. We just took on a subdivision.
Subdivision.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Just
Like
bought
that's-
12 acres of land in Indiana, and I'm going to be creating a subdivision. So this is the guy who used to push the lawnmower on the outside of the title company building and is now
That is unbelievable.
building a subdivision in Indiana of 35 to 40 homes. So that's stuff that is to come. So
And it kind of shows that if you're always looking to grow, growth will always be there. Like there always will be the potential for that. Like you could have gotten stagnant and just said, okay, I'll be a title guy. Like
right,
I have a business. I have, I'm
yeah,
doing what I
you can't
do.
stand still.
No, but like he is one of the prime examples of like if you stand still you get stuck. Like he
Yeah.
is you are constantly growing, you are constantly moving, you are constantly pushing, you're constantly asking, you're constantly thinking outside the box. So and that's one of these reasons that like taking a ride with this company has been such a cool experience because I would have never in a bazillion years thought 5 years ago what my life would lead to where it is right now. And I'm so thankful
Right.
and
Right.
for
Well,
that.
and I'm glad that you are because it's, you come into something and you put on the blinders and you go, well, this is what I do.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, my job, my goal, and my leadership is taking those blinders off and letting you see the world around you and go, stop. Like, give yourself a chance to open up what is out there in front of you and embrace it. And
But he's also very nice by the things that you don't like. He doesn't force you to do
For
that.
sure.
My
For
first
sure.
closing that I experienced was just like after the first closing I ever went to, like as a helper closer,
Mhm.
it was awful.
right,
And not for any reason besides that like it just
you're not cut out for it. That's
no,
okay.
I don't have the personality to do that.
And I'll tell you that the key to the successes of people and the key to successes of companies is in knowing what you're good at
Mhm.
and staying in your lane and allowing those people who are good at other things to work alongside you. And that doesn't necessarily mean they're competing with you, just they're working alongside you
Yeah.
and they're complementing what you do well.
Mhm.
And if you get a whole bunch of people that do their job well, they complement each other to globally do things
Right.
well. And I think it's an example of how we try to lead our office. I mean, Amy has been promoted into a position where she is now leading a team as well. And as you said, 5 years ago, you were a history major coming in going, I don't know what I want to do. And you enjoyed the dance world, and that was kind of what you thought was going to be kind of your take.
Yeah.
But here you are. You're still doing the dancing because you're passionate about it.
Mhm.
I still coach baseball because I'm passionate about it.
Right.
I mean,
It's
you
finding
can
that
still
balance.
dabble in that.
Right, for sure. It's
It-
finding the balance of life that
Absolutely.
you're cut out for.
Absolutely. And, I don't know what the future is going to look like as far as the growth. I have goals.
What are they?
I want to see.
Do you have any
Yeah.
like a top
I mean,
3 goals or
For the title company, I'm always researching the opportunities to grow that title company. And when I say opportunities, meaning maybe outside the Midwest, maybe there are other opportunities that are not right here in the Midwest.
I'll work in Florida
So
6 months out of
Florida
the year.
Florida is something that's on my radar. Texas has been brought to my attention by some colleagues and saying, research that. However, with the hurricanes keep piling through
Dude.
there, that that sets me a little bit back
Yeah.
on that thought.
Oh, for sure, that makes sense.
Not that hurricanes don't go through Florida, but I have some aspiration to maybe grow the title company.
New
However,
Orleans? I heard
again,
Louisiana.
did you hear Louisiana just got crushed by the?
Oh,
Yeah.
we need to help down there.
Yes, we do.
Let's
need
go
to help.
rehab down there. Let's
We-
bring the
We
development.
can bring the development up.
Yeah, we've been talking about like trying to do a Habitats for Humanity kind of thing.
Such a big thing for me.
Yeah, he's been talking about that for like 2 or 3 years. So, I mean, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off on your
No.
future and your.
Though that is something I talk about in our team meetings and try to share my team goal, my vision of what I'm wanting to do with the team, so that they can buy into this. Because the success of this team in this company is with the team. If the team's not buying into my vision, well, this is really not going to work. So the development company taking on that subdivision was on my list of something that I wanted to do in 21. It came a little bit sooner. Okay, wonderful. I'd like to grow some client base, and I'd like to, if there's clients out there, I want to take on some more attorney agents. I'm looking to grow the realtor market in Indiana. I'm looking to grow our efficiency internally so we can handle and maintain the growth that we're doing.
Yeah. We had this meeting. It had to be like a year and a half ago in our old building, where Drew had been just like looking for clients, looking for business, out prospecting, and like at one point he said, "Get ready, because like it's gonna happen." And here we are, like in the midst of, oh my God, it's happening. Like we're blessed to have this business that's still, moving along every day, and the business changed. I would say I do, 2 buy sells for every
Refi,
9 refis I do, which it's great. I like doing them. They're easier, but it's just he kept not warning, but he kept giving the feelers.
It is a warning. It was.
Yeah,
because
like
I
just
didn't
be
believe.
prepared, guy.
I didn't think you guys bought into it.
And then I went to that meeting with you, and I was like, I get it, like it's happening. And then it was like a couple months later, we were like, oh crap, like here we go, like hold on to your on to your knickers.
And I really think that's something that I pride myself in, is being a provider of and having the ability to speak and sell and do the R&D for a business. And right now it's here comes the COVID wave 2. I don't know what this is going to look like, Em. I don't know what the country is going to do in light of this new
like shutdown number
pandemic.
2.
Right.
Like what?
But no, people are going the other way. They're going obstinate. They're going no.
But
you're
is
not
that the
going
right
to close me
answer?
down. Right. I
don't know what the right answer is.
Right.
I'm not trying to.
No,
But
and
what?
I think that's it.
Like I have to like these restaurants and stuff. And like, could they survive another being shut down from indoor dining?
My heart goes out to these people. My heart goes out to our country, and I mean, the empathy that you have for something as devastating as what this is, and this is not as a fault of anybody.
No.
This is not as somebody did something wrong.
We said that in March, like
Right.
when this was all starting to happen. Like it's just like.
It's emotionally charging to me, because I feel so strongly about it, and I feel so strongly about people, and the people that work with us, the people that are part of all my companies and different entities. I really, this is my family. This is who I surround myself with, and I choose to want to be with, and who I want to protect. And when things like this happen, I go into this mode of just really trying to crush the marketplace on finding other opportunities and what else can we do, how can we help, where can we position ourselves to be ready and ahead of whatever may happen next.
I was even going to say that there had to be like a day or two where like you weren't sure what title was, like when this COVID happened. There had to be like 2 days of no sleep or something before we were trying to figure out like what is essential workers, what aren't essential workers, what's going to happen with the market. Nobody's going to be doing anything with their health. Like that had to be rough. Like that had to be a.
I'm wired a little differently. I don't project problem. I kind of, when things happen, a lot of people get all worked up and worried, and then it never comes to fruition, right? And then you spend all that time worrying. I'm pretty okay with adapting as it comes. I try to think ahead, though. I try to. My grandfather told me when I was a young kid, when a question is asked of you, or a situation comes up, you ask that question, is there anything I can do about it? And if the answer is no, let it go. And I have been practicing that probably since I've been 13 or 14 years old. And I finally have gotten to the point many years ago where I've gotten good at that. My wife tells me that all the time. She's like, how are you able just to let that go?
Yeah.
And I said, it's just because I can't do anything about it. I can't worry about it. The same thing with business and the same thing with life. It's going to take care of the downside. The upside takes care of itself. So if I'm taking care of the downside, that is the COVID, here it is. Okay, well, what's this going to look like? Well, I'm going to stand back and just kind of let it play out, and then implement different moves,
ways of working. Yeah.
Right. I think I immediately engaged myself with our underwriters and my support team, which is them, and asked for their direction and guidance. Going, okay, tell me what can I do? What do I need to do? And then it was. They speak in the terms of up here because of a bigger company. We're not that bigger company.
Yeah.
So then I take that and filter that down and go, okay, guys,
what do we really need to do? Yeah.
And this down here to a bunch of folks who were very close, looking at you, going, "We're going to do what? How's that going to work?" Wait a minute. I'm going to roll down my window and I'm going to hand them a clipboard. They're going to sign and I'm going to get it back. That's a drive-by closing. Yes. Mm-hmm. And then the teaching process of that, and then the support behind them to go, it's okay, you got this. But it's very different. Yes, but you got this. People don't accept change well.
No, especially people that are in, like you said, this business for a long time. Like, you mean we're doing what?
Well, you said it earlier. 20, 30 years ago, this business is the exact same as what it is now. What's different? Technology.
Technology, yeah.
We're still buying and selling homes. We're still facilitating the American dream. But we're just doing it with a different spin with technology. It's no different. The business has never changed.
No, it's still what it is.
We do the same thing.
Technology, eh?
We've grown through with technology. We've made it easier. There's been some integral changes of laws and things, but they're still buying and selling houses.
Right.
The business hasn't changed.
And it still has to keep, like, at some point, everybody else still have to buy or sell or
Real estate,
refire, yeah.
If you want an investment that performs over a period of time, the real estate market is it. If you have money that you can just put into the stock of real estate, you put it into the stock market, investing it in real estate, over a period of time, even though it has these huge fluctuations, it will average 8 to 10% as an end. Mm-hmm. So, 1 year it'll be way up, 1 year's way down, but over the period of time, it yields 8 to 10%. That's me now pulling out my old stock days, but at the end of the day, the importance of it is it's a market that is necessary in the world.
In the world, right.
So we're in a business that is very little known about it, that it's not cool, but we're trying to make it cool.
It is cool. One day you will say.
It's not sexy then, Amy. Okay,
it is
maybe
sexy
it's cool,
and it's cool.
but it's not sexy.
It is.
We're making it sexy.
We're trying.
Come out and watch us make it sexy.
It's not really.
Well, that's
it's
not
cool. No, it's you could be. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
We're trying. We're trying. Technology is sexy. You might
no doubt.
You might be seeing some exciting things coming from ITG over the next couple weeks. Just that's all I'm saying for now.
Yes.
We like to leave the cliffhangers. I was cliffhanging that
we have an announcement that we probably are going to make probably mid-November about that. We dropped the Inspired Development bomb that we are now taking on a subdivision. That is going to be
Beaver Lane.
Exciting. It can't be Beaver Lane. The beaver is dead.
The beaver.
So we're looking, man. We're growing. We're doing some different things. This whole conversation and interview process of you guys getting to learn a little bit more about us hopefully makes you more comfortable, and spread the word. Spread the positive words, spread the good words of what Inspired, what the Inspired team is, between Inspired Development and Inspired Title. I think that some of the things that we're starting to pick up and speak is, we're trying to do it the Inspired way.
Yep.
Right? I've utilized that a few times. We're trying to do that in the Inspired way. Absolutely. And, start going, if they ever open up the world again where we can go to people's offices and share some of this wonderfulness.
I miss people.
I do. I miss. I mean, you said it, you don't get them at the closings. We don't get them now even to go out and visit our clients. I mean, we're talking about the holidays coming up, and we're talking about what kind of holiday gifts. How are they going to get them? Are we going to have to send them to them?
Set them outside their front door.
I mean,
It's
we're losing this face-to-face touch. The Zoom stuff is not doing it. Here we are doing social media to connect with
you
people.
guys.
I would rather talk to you one-on-one. I'd rather talk to a group. I mean, I'm wanting to get out there and share and spread this excitement of what we're doing. And right now we're limited to doing it this way. So still fun, still
At least
exciting.
it's something.
Yeah, we still enjoy it. So.
All right, do you have any
So, yeah.
sign-offs? Do you have anything you want to end with? Do you have...
So I do. I
thought you might.
I didn't bring this to you. I wanted you to. So something as I was getting ready to come to work today, there was an argument that was brought up about the worst Halloween candy ever. Like, for me, it's candy corn.
Candy corn is where
Okay?
my brain went.
So
I'm
candy
not-
corn. Some people said like Kit Kat and Milky Way. It's like
I
saying
will-
bacon isn't good. I mean, what are you doing?
Come on. Anything with chocolate is...
Right? Right? So what is your favorite Halloween candy?
Ooh, Reese's.
You're going, really?
100%. I am a peanut butter chocolate-aholic. Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the Kit Kat and the Twix bars, which were both deemed as...
Which I'm surprised, because you are a sweet tartaholic.
I am, and then maybe I'm over sweet tarts right
Maybe.
now, because everybody has just been inundating me with sweet tarts.
His birthday present this year was an entire bag of sweet tart.
I'm sweet enough,
treats.
believe it or not. I don't need any more.
So
Holy
you're a
Moses.
Kit Kat Twix.
I like my now I'm going to date myself. Remember the old Charleston shoes?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
That was Big League Chew time too.
I love the Charleston shoes. You could chew that for a better part of a day.
You could, and then you woke up the next morning and you're like,
Yeah, it was. It was a good
oh,
time.
right here,
Yeah.
these muscles.
These are great conversations,
Yeah.
and I'm really thankful that you guys, as listeners, join us each and every week, and the loyalty of that. We enjoy what we do immensely, and we take it to our work. We really pride ourselves in making our days great and making the businesses great and doing the things that are important for the industry and for our clients.
Yeah.
I really find it to be it's a challenge every day, but I enjoy it, and I seek out every day to go, what am I going to do to make an impact in somebody's life today? And I model myself around that and try to succeed at that every day. So
If it's one life a day, I mean,
that's right.
that's something.
Yeah,
That's something to
absolutely.
be.
So I would encourage you guys to keep listening. Please, we are still looking for another team member to join this
We
fun
are.
team. If you know of anybody that wants to be part of
Spend a lot of time with me.
spend a lot of time with him and be part of a great growing organization and opportunity, we would certainly love to hear from you. We always want to hear from you about your feedback. Your positive feedback has been wonderful, but we also take constructive criticism as well.
If you're interested in coming on the show, send
Yeah,
us something.
if you
We'd
wanna-
love to.
Yeah, if you want to ask us questions and be here live to kind of
You could call in. You could. I mean, any. Nothing is off the books.
No, we can do it all.
Yeah,
do
we
it all.
can.
So we really thank you and appreciate you guys joining us. I'm going to let you finish this thing. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm just kidding. So this is another edition of Thursday Title Talk. We're so glad you guys joined in. I'm Amy,
I am Drew.
and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Take
Have a
care,
great
everybody.
rest of the day and week, everybody.
Bye, guys.